Namaste. Hope you're doing well today. I just wanted to take a minute to talk a little bit about anatomy and yoga. So I'm a yoga therapist and a massage therapist. I'm a licensed massage therapist and a yoga therapist with the International Association of Yoga Therapy. With that in mind, I want to share a little bit of a contemplation or a critique on how these two things relate to each other, anatomy and yoga. So, coincidentally, behind me here, over there, we have Raja Yoga by Swami Vivekananda. An excellent book, early yoga in the West. And it was, I think, the only book that Swami Vivekananda actually wrote. Everything else was done from transcriptions of his lectures. In that, he translates and comments on the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, considered to be the primary text of yoga practice. In the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, what content of anatomy is discussed? No content of anatomy from a Western view is discussed. There's a little bit that our yoga postures sthira sukham asanam, that it should be stable. And then the following verse, stable and steady. And then the following verse stating that from our yoga posture we should be able to enter into a state of inner expansiveness. Now, other than that, the Yoga Sutra is mostly all about the process of meditation and yogic psychology. This is the classical, the gold standard of yoga is the Yoga Sutras. Then the question comes, how does anatomy relate to yoga? Good question. So yoga today has become a very physicalized practice in the Western world, and there's been a physical component to yoga asana for a long time. Yoga is the cessation of mind. Yoga is the stilling of the mindset, as stated by Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras, yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha. So how does the study of anatomy relate to the process of yoga? My rascally side would say it doesn't. That these are actually two different things. It's spiritual materialism, or turning yoga into all about the cult of the body. Now, I work with the musculoskeletal system every day. I massage people. I meet with private yoga clients to help address what's going on with their pain in their body, and we address it, a lot of it, from the musculoskeletal perspective. Now, in yogic psychology, we go through the states of yoga, we learn to meditate, and from that comes very deep healing, which can be healing beyond what would happen from trying to shift the musculoskeletal system. When the mind becomes relaxed and we remove the stress out of our mind, the body then has its natural propensity to want to heal. So if we look at anatomy, I would say, even though it doesn't relate directly to the traditional goals of yoga, it's become very relevant in the West today with yoga being a physical practice. So it's important to learn musculoskeletal anatomy, the natural range of motions of joints, and how these things relate to a long-term yoga practice based upon our life phase and our dosha, our body type. So different body types will have different needs in their musculoskeletal system. So we can get very specific about this, about how to relate to the body, how to relate to the musculoskeletal system. This is a major study in and of itself to figure out and understand what each individual needs based upon the time, place, and situation of their life. I would like to point out the need for some differentiation or right understanding. To look at our physical structure of our body as if that is the end and goal of yoga practice is cutting out so much vastness and importance in the yoga system. On the other hand, a thorough understanding of the musculoskeletal system makes a yoga a very great physical healing practice. So we don't want to be confused trying to turn the physical healing into what has traditionally been the spiritual practice. This could borderline on a misappropriation of concepts and superimposing what yoga is onto what we've created it in the modern world. Now, all this being said, all of these are valid approaches to yoga. Yoga of relating to experiencing stillness in our vrittis, nirodha, so the vrittis are the waves, nirodha is when they stop. So getting to a place where we know how to do that is very important. Now, if we're treating yoga as a physical system, we should probably, most likely, be really studying in-depth muscular skeletal anatomy so that we can be the best support in helping our students and clients have overall healing. With all of this in mind, I'd like to make one concluding thought. Yoga based upon anatomy, musculoskeletal yoga, increases our mind waves. It is not cessation of the mind waves. Traditional yoga is cessation, stillness of the mind. When one is well established, they can be participating in all of the busyness of the mental marketplace, the transactional reality, where everything is about more knowledge, more ideas, more concepts, which is inherent in yoga as an anatomical Western viewpoint. So very important to understand the difference between these two things, but also to understand that they're both valid and both have a beautiful place in the world's offerings as spiritual practices and healing traditions. So this is the first anatomy video I'm going to be posting on the YouTube channel, and moving forward we'll get a little less philosophical and we'll actually start talking about some structural things, how it relates to muscles and yoga postures and what is a smart thing to do. So thank you again for taking the time to view this video, and hope that you're benefiting from it. Thank you and namaste.